Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. Dear Ollie, thank you for this channel. It is a great support for us who have to deal with this. I made a contribution. Sorry this is so long. I'm a 21-year-old girl. When I was a kid, I always knew that there was something wrong with the family. We emigrated to a better country when I was 4 years old. This meant that we didn't see the rest of the family very often, and that I was forced to deal a lot with my parents. I have a 5-year younger sister that is born here. My father was always the one who had the bigger hand in the family. As a child, I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. I got beat up for stupid things as a child by him. One time when I was 8 years old, I got my face repeatedly slammed on a hard part of the couch because I didn't want to switch from my school clothes to my home clothes. My mother wasn't home at the moment. My nose bled for like an hour. When I hit puberty, however, things changed. To this day, I have a better relationship with my father than my mother. When I was little, I always thought that my father was the crazy one. Now it's like my mother is the crazy one. My mother now has the upper hand. I see that my dad avoids conflicts because it's too much for him. I believe him on this part. When he was 45 years old, the doctor prescribed him medicine to keep his blood pressure under control. These are the same medicines that seniors get. My mother has this thing with me called pure hate. It began really subtle, or maybe I just notice it now more because I learned about narcissism. She is always nitpicking, offending, and putting me down. I remember when I was 9 years old, she bought a boy's jacket for me. Of course, I didn't want to wear this at school because I would get laughed at. She said that it was a girl's jacket and made me wear it. It was really embarrassing. She always embarrassed me in social situations. On parent contact with a teacher of mine, she said that I watched too much TV. I think that she exaggerated it too much because the teacher used this to mock me in class for the rest of the year. She did this every time until I decided to come to her with the parental. She did this every time until I decided to come with her to the parental contacts. All of a sudden, things weren't that bad with the teachers anymore. When I graduated from high school, she caused drama again. She was supposed to give me a ride to the ceremony. The students had to be there earlier for a moment with the class. That day, she was a half hour late. My father and I were very mad. When he asked her why she was late, she said that she went to the post office to post some letters. All hell broke loose. I missed my moment with the class and went there mad as hell. My sister wasn't even attending it. On the ceremony itself, my mother had played an act like she cried for me and shit. This made me even more angry. When I attended college, she decided to go to college herself. Mind you, this is a 43-year-old woman who is an immigrant and can't even write properly. The degree will last 5 years. This degree will last 5 years because she will work while earning it. This wasn't enough. She chose a degree in nursing, the program with a lot of internships. I am deeply concerned for the people that she will be nursing. She couldn't care less when we were sick. I think that she does this to brag about it to other people. She terrorizes us completely at home. We have a desk upstairs that she won't use. She studies in the living room instead. The noise of the TV has to be kept down to the point you can't barely hear anything. When my dad goes upstairs and I am still watching, she keeps picking on me until I shut down the TV. And no, she doesn't learn, she just goes to sleep. On top of that, everybody from her internship and her class is a jealous bitch out to sabotage her. She always has problems and keeps on bitching about them. My dad shuts her down saying, "We all know who you are. Stop it." Wow. You know, I'm surprised more narc mothers don't do this. The opportunity to actually go back to school with their children. You know, this might end up being some kind of new weird trend, I think, if this something like that catches on. Okay, with narcissists, oh, well, I'm going to go too. My sister got equally bad treatment from my father, but not my mother. She is 5 years younger than me. I think that she is the golden child. She is allowed to skip school, spend large amounts of money, stay out late at night, party as much as she wants, and taking drugs. On top of that, she doesn't work and doesn't even help to do the work home. Meanwhile, I have jobs and help at home. I have shown my parents multiple proofs of her taking drugs and whoring around. All of that is waved away. They turned a blind eye on that. If I did the same shit at her age, I wouldn't be alive today. And if you're still trying to get your sister in trouble at 21 years old, you're going the wrong way. Your goal should be to get away from all of it, not try to prove your sister's wrong. Because you know what? Throwing your sister under the bus isn't going to help anything, because the problem's all coming from your mother and father. This Monday, my beloved grandmother passed away. She lived in the other country. My parents didn't take me to her funeral. They didn't even give me a chance to book my own ticket. So here I was alone in the house with my sister. My father said that I was in charge now, so I charged. When my mother isn't around, me and my sister get along. I began cleaning the house, doing the laundry, and so on. I gave chores to my sister since she was skipping school for 3 days, which my mother allowed her to do. It was not much. I still did the bigger work. On Monday, I gave her some chores. She tried slightly to fight it, but gave soon in and did her work. I received on the day after in the morning a text from my mother that I should stop bossing her around. I said that I won't clean up her shit. I wasn't a slave of her. My mother ignored me. On Tuesday, I had a day off of school, so I began to clean the entire living room, kitchen, and a piece of the bathroom. On top of that, I also did the laundry and ironing. I ordered my sister to clean a piece of the bathroom and to iron her own underpants. She did all of that. For one moment, I thought that we were a team. On the evening, are you two housekeepers or are you daughters? Are you running a laundry service and a cleaning service and that? Like, what is with all these chores? And not only for her, for both of you. Okay, you both got to get out of the mode of being some kind of Cinderella in this. Like, what is going on here? You're 21 years old, and quite frankly, you should be out partying. You should be out living your life. For one moment, I thought we were a team. On the evening, I went to my friend's and she went to hers. I came back and noticed that she wasn't home. She came home by 11 p.m. and I was very mad. We had a fight and she called my mother. Wait a minute. You're 21, she's 5 years younger than you. So is she 16 and she came home at 11? That's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable. Especially with your parents not around. You can get very mad, but you got to understand this is your sister. You're not her mother. You're not her mother. And she will end up fucking resenting you if you keep up with this, trying to act like you are her mother. And you keep trying to show your parents that she's somehow the problem. Like you're trying to narc her out. It's not going to work. She's only going to end up resenting you later on for it. We had a fight and she called my mother the day after I was so mad that she was skipping school that I proceeded to snitch. Mind you that she had a week free from school prior to this week. I went to her school to tell the staff that my sister was skipping school and asked if they could do something about that, only to get laughed in my face. She wasn't doing anything against the law because she's allowed to have 4 times a year a note from home. My biggest problem is my mother. After we cleaned the whole home, I received a text from my mother saying, "Why are you doing all this work? I told you to stop it. Stop commanding. I will do everything myself." I said to her that I was going to block her. When she came back, my sister waited her up at the station. When she came home, instead of just saying hello, she immediately got the keys of her car. She came in bitching about how she told me to move the car and I hadn't done it. Then she came along trying to give me a kiss. I didn't allow it. I said, get away from me. I'm not going to play this show. She kept bitching on how her flight was shit, how much money there was wasted, and how I, like I was the only one at home, hadn't brought bread for her and shit. And mind you, that I wasn't even told at what hour she would be at home. How could I know that she wants bread? My grandmother's body wasn't even cold, and she keeps bitching about the money. She also has this very irritating voice and always yells at me with it. I got heated and started arguing with her. She really pushes me for the work that I had done. I told her that a normal mother would say thank you and not punishing me for it. She told me that she hadn't asked me to. I yelled at her asking what the fuck that her problem was. Was it because I could do it without her, or because I could do it better than her? Which she replied with, why did you do it when I didn't ask for it? I told her that every normal kid would do it. Not really. Not that you did anything wrong. It's odd behavior for a 21-year-old. It's odd behavior. It's like almost like you're in competition with your own mother and sister. She kept bitching on why I hadn't moved the car and shit. The car was already standing perfectly. Then she ran off because she couldn't argue any further. She knew I was right. I got very tired afterward and went right on to bed. I received a text from her how ungrateful I was. She had spent 100 euros on Victoria's Secret things to thank us. I told her to stick it in her ass and went back to sleep. I saw none of those things, by the way. She knows damn well that a simple thank you is more than enough, which I still haven't got. Victoria's Secret for your daughters? 21 and 16? Today when she came home from work, she kept picking on me and yelling at me with that voice of hers. My sister was enabling her. Another thing about her is that when she starts picking on you, she won't stop. Usually my dad makes her stop, but he won't come back until next Tuesday. She wouldn't let me eat my meal in peace, so I went to my room. She came upstairs yelling at me that I should watch my plate, and I said to her that I won't do it since she would yell at me for doing the household. Thank God that man came to check the electricity meter. She immediately turned her voice down and made it smooth. This evening, my sister went out with her friends. I was alone with my mother, but she had to work at 7. All hell broke loose. She kept yelling and intimidating me. She was standing only an inch away from me, saying things like, you are useless. Do I really have to teach you everything? You need to go away from here. You have to check in at the psychiatry. She kept going and going, even when I told her to stop and leave me alone. I pushed her and she grabbed my bag and threw it to my head. I snapped and started hitting her and pulling her hair out. She kept on screaming that she was going to call the police. I screamed to her that I would be very glad if she did. She came back very close, screaming that she would destroy me and that I was lucky that she had to go to work. She literally said that she would fuck me up so bad that no boy would ever want to fuck me, and repeated this over and over. I replied to her, well, glad I'm no whore like you. She was late for work because she kept fighting with me. And speaking of work, in the past, she has been fired from several clients because she stole from them. Recently, she has been fired from some clients which she was very close to for unknown reasons. I don't think she stole from them. I think they saw that she was crazy. My father is still in his country till next Tuesday. My mother has now free game here at home. The recovery after every fight is harder and harder. In my social life, I just feel like my emotions are beginning to numb. Sometimes I think that people notice this. Please give me some advice. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't go no contact since I'm still in college. I have no dorm. Thank you for everything and sorry for my grammar. Anonymous. Look, Anonymous. You're 21. You immigrated from another country, obviously a different culture, and I'm got a good idea where. So, this is nothing different than any other cultural narcissism that we talk about. Look, you are not your sister's mother, and you are not your mother's mother. It seems like the three of you girls are in competition with each other because of your mother. I know you're trying to tell me no contact isn't an option. Nothing changes until you do. Nothing. Nothing. Why? Because your mother's a needler. Your mother's a provoker. Your mother's a button pusher. She is the worst type of narc because she doesn't stop until she flips your switch. That's what my mother is. Following you around, just on you about one thing after another, and you try to ignore them and you try to back. It doesn't work. They won't stop until you react. I had my mother beating on me because you think you can just not react to me. You think you're not gonna freak out and make me look crazy, going fucking batshit. And I just stood there until she started ripping up my baseball cards, which were valuable. And then she knew, okay, I understood the value, and that's when I grabbed her by that nappy head of hers and bent her back over the goddamn railing, the spiral railing, and said, I will drop you over this. Did that on a couple occasions. One time when she hit me with the bat, too. She did the bend back over twice. You'd figure after the first one she would have known, but no. She didn't. Because they're crazy. They like the fight. They want to be hit. They want you to touch them. They want it. They need it. Don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. My best advice to you is start acting like you're 21, not 41. Start going out with your friends and staying out past 11 p.m. What are they going to do? You're 21. Start having some fun of your own. Stop trying to live a life. Have some fun. Figure out. Meet some friends. Get an apartment. Figure out how to move into a dorm. Get financial aid if you can. Okay, to just throw yourself up, say I'm in college and no dorm, so I can't go no contact. That's bullshit. That's a cop-out. Where there's a will, there's a way. And if you want to go no contact, you will find a way to do it. Because nothing will change. Nothing will change until you are out of that house. Period. My advice to you is start acting like a 21-year-old girl and have some fun. Stop trying to prove your sister wrong or what she's doing. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Live your own life. All you're doing right now is wasting your youth. You're wasting your youth and you're going to hate yourself later on for it. So stop doing it. But none of this gets better and none of it changes until you figure out a way to get out of there. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video just like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to help it expand, grow, and succeed, because this channel survives 100% by contributions from all of you. Without you, this goes away. So if you like these videos and you want to see more of them, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.